We asked y'all on Twitter, are the Cavs still a lock to win the East? The people voted, and 69%, gentlemen, say no. Stephen A., do you concur?
I don't concur with, I'm sorry, I do concur because they agree with me because I don't think they're locked to win the East. I think that the way they're looking defensively, when you don't play defense or you struggle to play defense, yes, you normally get it together, but that's when they were a cohesive unit. You knew exactly who was going to play. Everybody knew their role. Everybody knew their minutes. Everybody knew all of these things. I look at Dwayne Wade and the presence of Dwayne Wade with LeBron James, and I'm willing to give the Cavs the benefit of the doubt, which is why I got it at 60%. But you've got so much to deal with if you're Tyronn Lue. LeBron James, and with his future in Cleveland hanging in the air, is a big deal. Isaiah Thomas, underpaid religiously throughout his career, looking to finally cash in. That's a big deal. Tristan Thompson, as good as he is, as much as I love him, being a liability against specifically Golden State because of their style of play, how they start the season with Kevin Love at the 5. Why? Because you got to adjust because of what you know that you anticipate going against come the NBA Finals. That's a big deal. J.R. Smith, initially sulking because he wanted to be the starter and he didn't appreciate getting taken out of the starting lineup, has started 37 of 40 games. Let me tell you something right now. We haven't even looked into this stat, Max. We don't even know how many times J.R. Smith has scored in double figures this season. I mean, we really don't know. I mean, we can look it up, play by play, game logs and things of that nature. Maybe it's about 10 or 12 times or whatever, but he's averaging about 7 points and 35% shooting. This is your starting shooting guard. You can't have that. So with all of that going on, I'm just of the mindset that you combine all of that with the fact that Tyronn Lue's got to figure out who's playing, how much they're playing, and to get them all to buy in defensively. You got a problem. They are the favorites, but they are no lock. The Cleveland Cavaliers can be had.
Look, I'm going to say the Cleveland Cavaliers are still a lock because before the season started, I thought if Isaiah Thomas is Isaiah Thomas, I can't say this enough, they will certainly make the finals. So assuming Isaiah's health, they're going to make the finals. Now, let me tell you why I have confidence in this. It's not that I have faith in it, faith in the, belief in the absence of evidence. I have confidence, meaning I believe in the absence of definitive evidence, of definitive proof. We don't know for sure. But if Isaiah gets healthy, I believe in the Cavs. Why? Because we've seen it so many times before with LeBron James teams, including all his years in Cleveland, Stephen A. They start slow. They don't play defense early. He gets everyone on the same page by the time the playoffs start, and they're a house on fire. Now, the interesting thing about defense, you're right, of course, if you don't play defense, you ain't going to win. And the Celtics certainly play defense, but we've seen Tom Thibodeau teams play defense all year and be worn out by the time they get to the playoffs. We've seen it. Brad Stevens has that second unit, or especially early in the season, playing defense at, I think, maybe an unsustainable level. I know they're a younger team. The key pieces are younger. But still, that defense, I believe, regresses to the mean, meaning the defense you've seen, especially the second unit playing now in Boston, is likely to get worse. Meantime, the defense in Cleveland is likely to get much, much better. Why do I say that? Because it always does. Now, it got a little better, and then it got worse again. Did anything change? Yes, Isaiah got healthy. So you got to figure that the Cavs are going to be on the same page as they are every season. And then, Stephen A., it comes down to a formula, right? Look, where are the Celtics now compared to where we thought they'd be? What's the difference been, really? Well, Tatum and Brown are revelations, right? Jaylen Brown's improvement, is predictable. It's kind of predictable development. Tatum is really the guy where you're like, you couldn't have counted on that. But you got to weigh that against the fact that Gordon Hayward hasn't been there at all. It's one of the reasons that those guys get so many minutes. So really, is Tatum's value above where you thought he'd be? Does that more than make up for the fact that Gordon Hayward hasn't played at all? Because that's the only thing really that would change your expectations for this Celtics team other than what the Cavs are doing. And again, we don't know what the Cavs are until Isaiah's really integrated.
I don't know about that, and I think you're wrong there. Number one, because we didn't know what Tatum was going to be, because we didn't expect him to be but so much, because Gordon Hayward was supposed to be in there. He would be in the starting lineup with Jaylen Brown, and we didn't know what we were going to get from Tatum, because even though you liked him a lot, nobody expected him to be this good this early, especially on the defensive side of the ball. So we've got that issue. Then we got to take into account, Max, something that I don't recall you ever bringing up, and one of my boys just pointed this out to me. You have a situation where Isaiah Thomas was averaging 29 points per game as your point guard. So not only was he the star, he was also the number one option, plus he was the point guard. Right. Now, he's not the number one option, okay? He's not the star, and he's not running the show. So even when he comes back, without even bringing up the fact that he's miniature, and as a result that makes him a defensive liability, we're also talking about three components that makes his matriculation to the Cleveland Cavaliers squad such a huge adjustment that as a result, we don't know what we're going to get from him or them. We know he can score. We know he can put up buckets, but we don't know what kind of collateral damage, if any at all, in fairness to him, his presence is going to have because of the minutes he demands.